is day 1467 of the Arukh HaShulchan. Yomi, they were doing your idea. Simon Reish Ein Dalid. Save base to test. Actually, I should say like Arukh HaShulchan Simon Ein Reish Dalid. Base. V'da the Rambam learning tzadin zeh shetzorach tov shem kedusha sefer Torah. The Rambam does not have his halacha. You have to write for the purpose of kedusha sefer Torah. And below, now this the head yomavur midvar durak bas chortz lishma. It's quite clear from that only the shemos of Hashem have to be lishma. V'zel shon a pair of din tezvav is right. So Chris said the term the tefillin zuzos. So it's a Torah tefillin zuzos b'shas ksiva and I wrote them. Also kavana didn't have content because of askor min askor shmeshol lishman. They wrote one of the shemos. So Lishma it's possible. Akal Shana. Parakud Hazim Slim Shechashav in the 20 invalidations that he reckoned. Kasagami also wrote Shekaza has Kosh Lishman. Right, that's Kosh Lishman. Akal Shana. I read the head Yolo it's the Tzich Lishma Akas Kosh, so it needs Lishma by the Shemos. With the Shlo Gusha Paskim, it's the Paskim never actually said. Point out that the Rambam has a shita. In fact, getting without base, you only find out the Shemas Hashem require Lishma. If we don't find the rest of the Torah that you require, be Lishma. Somebody who writes the name, etc. If somebody asks how he's doing, he should not respond. Zelt the Sefta, it's the Sefta Brachas by Gimel. You should pay the Brachas. Came Shuta at time Bishum Lishma, since he says on account of Lishma, came Bachok, there was also of which should be also to be Mavskin all the words in the Torah, unless you all the rest of the words of the Torah don't have to be Lishma. They didn't say it's on account of Lishma. They covered Hashem because it's covered in the name of Hashem, so therefore would not apply to its other words. Rambam tells him Lishma, Mashkal Torah and Tzarech, but Rambam writes it's an issue of Lishma, so it sounds like Lishma is only necessary for the Shemus Hashem, not for the rest of Torah. Tzarech, it's not clear. The Echav Shalom Arka, he says, the Ibu the Orat Tzarech Lishma. If you have to tan the hides Lishma, Koshka Yaksiva, certainly the writing should be how the Lishma case of kitten. So again, Memhei, Gimel, Vanilla is that the one of the suggest. Time with the game and the Ibn Orat Lishma. Perhaps so Ramos, once you did the tanning of the hides, the Shema, mainly the Aksiv is done with the Shema, okay. We automatically assume that this Aksiv is Lishma. Right? As I'm walking. And it says, the Rimini says, the Shchitas Kachim Stam and Lishma Kai. The Shech Kachim, we assume it's Lishma. At time, the Shkwa Hekdish, and the reason is because you already made this Hekdish. This is already Hekdish animal. Now, here too came with Shkwa Hekdish, HaKlav, since you already consecrated the Klav, Stam and Lishma Kai, we assume it's Lishma. The Lush Hashem Shani, the Lush of the Shem Hashem itself is different. It's like Lush HaCheres, the Shem Hashem. Before us, it needs a different high level kedusha for the purpose of Hashem for us. It's not effective the intent of Stam kedusha sefer Torah. That says it states specifically that it's for the sake of kedusha Hashem. The kitten sham yesh class wireless and sham etam. So you get it seems like there's evidence for this. Dina bale lokam okay, but anyway, Lamaisa don't hold it to Rambam. The Rova posting most posting the entire sefer Torah is Lishma. Tomorrow, maybe they should custom with two of them lost came possible. Signs should be said not right. The flip side, the two they've been into Lishma, then it's possible. Like is a kavanah, but said there's no what's a din baruz and baram. Maybe he had some reason not to write that because they didn't find it explicit in the Rambam. I can't it's clear that B'sifra Gadol, but that's case you at least mention the base Yosef. So clear. Then Baruch begin to ask for Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, even Lishma boy, Ksiv Lishma boy, but yeah. That's the Rabbi Shimon Gamliel will require even the tanning Lishma, not writing Lishma. Mashu, so I would call it Lishma. It sounds like you do require the entire Torah Lishma. Actually, if I should ask, it's kind of the Bakai. Could be the Rambam say it's only going on in the day of Shem Hashem. Misham Balavachi and right, but from there, anyway, there's no proof. The Akas and Akum Kai, it's going on in non-Jew writing. That's slow by the Shacham Mastam Lishma Kai. By him, we can't say the default subject is Lishma. Can move on as is understood. Dal the Gamadasa tour, Vashum Rakish Doctor. We also have to be infer here from the tour in the Shulchan. How is it possible we said you're writing at the beginning of the Sefer Torah that all of it that's Lishma, that all of it's Lishma, when you write over many days, I have many interruptions. Lo yadayim bracha mitzvah. Should not be any better than bracha and a mitzvah. Shek shemafsik harbe when you make a significant interruption. So acheres you need another bracha. El b'bayit tzorich ma'ayov to say the gam divrei even going them. They came in the baschole. Amar lishma at the beginning. He said to Shma there's a chayka gam stome lishma kai. We soon continues to be on the base of that lishma. You can't. That's going to say me ataymo the Rambam the Ibud have this. That's not such a big, not so astonishing to say that Rambam the Ibud is the initiation lishma. The low down the shame is not like the shameless kol shame kedusha b'ifnei where each name is kedusha unto itself. Because the kadosh kol shame. The shame says you have to consecrate each one of the shameless. Hey, because Rabbi says see base. But he says right. So she will point up sefer acher. He's got to have from another sefer. She I think he meant for she copies. So Osach Hashem next time we're not allowed to write any letter in a sefer Torah not based on another word which is in front of you. So you shall call table because you have to read each word before you write it. Shekakas had Moshe Rabbeinu to turn Piyak Vura. That's why Baruch Moshe himself wrote the Sefer Torah from the Sefer of Baruch. Baruch Omer Hashem said from Moshe Omer because Moshe would repeat it and write it. Fiksho they asked the Orach Chaim Siman Lam Beis Gav Tefillin Kasam Simchot Tes. It says by Tefillin Ein Parashish Shchuz Lefiv. If he's not accustomed to write the parashiyos, so Tzarich L'Shichtim Dagsav, then you have to write based on the writing. Sif Lamrav Kasav, he writes there. He made a Kosev if he's not writing out another writing, Lo Yichtav Al Peh. He should not write it based on it being stated verbally. Shemakre so Acher, even though when somebody else is reading it to him. Ela Elikeyazohu V'Krav Piv. That he himself goes back and repeats it himself. And before that, it's quite clear here. The Dafka She'inukaz in Torah Ksam Mukhriv L'Asar Kasufim. When you're not writing out of a tikkun, then you have to repeat what you were just told. He writes out of by looking into a tikkun and so you don't have to verbalize it. One pasakan there was why pasuk the gam because in Torah Ksam also writing based on another writing. So those you have to read out loud. He writes there. He made writes it just like a Sefer Torah by Megillah. You have to write it out of Tikkun, and you have to say every word before you write it. The source Siman base seems contradictory when it says Siman base. Usually in Tefillin Shiny, some say the Tefillin is different. It's the grammar of Avraham like that. I don't know the distinction. It's Archim. It seems to be something based on the. At times you would write Tefillin, which are making more sugar b'fiv, but he's not getting that. Vav, and he is not getting the guy with Tefillin Kenu. Oh, was not getting to it? He is getting to it. That's true. It says that Tzorchin was not a Tzorchin without an answer. It's Tzorchin with an answer, which is the next if. Now he is not which is like Vav. Now he is not getting the guy with Tefillin Kenu. It's also true by Tefillin Kenu. If you write, even you're writing out of another writ. The tzarich l'shom if you call teil koyim you have to say each word before you write it. You know, see Moshe Rabbeinu. Let's because see Moshe Rabbeinu did that. Abi shetzloyo kamin aksav. Even though by him was like writing out of the ksav. Shem yirosei shagash baruch hu. Hami ksav coming writing on the basis. Hashem says so. It's sort of like writing no worse and probably a lot better than writing out of the ksav. Nevertheless, Moshe Rabbeinu has to repeat and say. If it's not writing out of another writ, you should not write it al peh. Shemakra or so acher or somebody else just reads it to him. This means the name of the kriyas acher have a kriyas atzmo. Don't say the other person's reading is like himself reading it. Elabina dafka kriyas atzmo. He himself must read it. But right, the evidence is Moshe Rabbeinu lo yatzeh b'kriyas Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't yatzeh with Hakadosh Baruch Hu's reading. But if somebody else not read you, obviously you have to read it for yourself, even when you're reading out of another writ. You can ask him, Moshe, let's require somebody to write it, to read it, and you to repeat it. Like Moshe Rabbeinu. Then okay, that's not cool. And Hashem was read out loud was essential. Because always later there Moshe not know what to write. Like Hashem's reading out is like reading out of a sefer. Avokrias atzmo b'chol makom akeh, but the Yishuv itself, we should read it, is an impediment anywhere. Everywhere. That's the loch lemaisa. Back says here, but through lokasav kandin zed, two does not realize here. Just right to say stomach atzmo bilad mashchasav archaim shom. Bilad when he's archaim, but back nitcha b'zayin shom. Where the Taisus, okay, Taisus evidently says this explicitly. Zayin. Yeshim some say the Mukhab Yusham that's going to shine the Kosher Shlom and Aksav. They wrote not out of a written because of Chatchila. You should read out of it. Chatchila in Lo B'Shas L'Chag, lest you have combined circumstances. A famous case, right? Mayor wrote a Megillah, Shlom and Aksav, and then wrote over again. So the second one should be Doch Aksav. So now he meant you should. Yesh in the Korean, so some say that you shouldn't be the Chatchila. Yesh some say the Korean Chatchila, even Chatchila, the ends of Makkah B'diavad, since now I'm paying B'diavad, so therefore you can do it even Chatchila. So he says in Rabbeinu Monach, and the Shach, let's see, the Shach. Yesh Uraya Gami Rambam, Shlo Chashav Zeh Rebbeinu, also the evidence of Rambam didn't count this as an invalidation. Chaim Lomar Kotev Fiv also, he didn't say every word out loud. Ends of Makkah B'diavad, it's not a impediment B'diavad. For Raya evidence, Shari Shmar Psukim Achon Torah, last Psukim Torah, Loya Moshe Chazim B'Fiv. Moshe would not repeat them. Like it's good in the Gemara. Shemaim no should be able to equal. So we see, don't require that actually read out loud. It's like a hit or mitzvah. Ches. Each letter has to have a margin on all four sides. No letter should cling to its friend. The side should be at least a hairbreadth between them. On the other hand, it shouldn't be very much gappy, distant from each other. So one word should not go into two words. If you have been table, there should be between words. At least the size of a small letter. The two words should not be looked at one word. If you deviate, you did made a gap between letters, so the one word looks like two words. Or so she put two words together. Now that looks like one word. Puzzle, it's no good. Can't be also to one letter clings to another letter. If it ain't called osmukak view, usually does not have a margin. Can't get puzzle. There's a small gap. Even says the airbreath. Dio had this recently in the return of shul. There's a ches. Ches, of course, involved in Zayin. Something is between the Vav and Zayin, it looked like it was smudged. It looked like it actually was separate. When you zoomed in with the phone, you could see there was a slight separation. So the table so to between word and word. There's at least some mode of gap. Even if it's not the size of a small letter. A child who's not too smart and not too dumb. Reads it as two words. That suffices. I'm a tell according to the child reads it as one word, possible no good. Even though the first word has a memsu, it ends like Mitzrayim. So everybody knows where it ends. So you know it's the end word. Come possible, never that's possible. That's why I think some people say you can't rely on a little kid, even for things called a little kid, because you might know that the sophist stops the word. It's going to be Kivega. That one ain't a what was it. To understand it doesn't suffice. The writing has to be appropriate. Like if two letters cling together, even though you know it's two letters, it's still possible. So the same thing. Test. So each letter should look like it's supposed to look. In the middle, looks like another letter. Or it doesn't have the look of this letter. It's not like another letter. Affiliation to its it looks like the right letter. The Gamatina Koro and a child also read that way. It's not one block. You the aleph, such as the two U's of an aleph. An aleph is a line with two U's, one on top, one on bottom. Ain't no green bakav, not touching the emtsai, they're not touching the middle line. Ain't a base, ain't gago no gab adofno. The roof is not touching the side. That's study, don't study. Says similar in all letters. Levad ha'heva kuf. Besides the kuf shel tmunasim isin, I can't ushu shnei golamos. They have specifically two blocks. Shame going back with the one block psulim, they're apostle, even they can be read properly. Of course, he'll shame going ekla psulim, but all OTS which are not one block are apostle. Chenim adalad need melaresh, the adalad looks like a resh, it's no good. A base of cuff, or a laughing, vice versa, it's also to attack and you have to fix it. Because there's no distinction between Shema and Shema because I'm going whether the time you wrote it in right properly, or because the coding right properly, skaka kaka they kero neka, they got ruined by a tear or a hole, or titushdo or an ink smudge. Chesim is apostle, or it's possible. Also, the case may save a tear or zoo. I can't read the sifter until it is fixed.